Sessions for later, or you're making like programming code or something like that. I don't know if you're interested. People on Zoom can't hear you very well. It's breaking up a lot. I think I always feel like we should. Because now it's connected on the phone. Right, this is audio, right? Wow.
We still can't hear you very well. I think maybe you can try changing the microphone setting because I don't think the owl is the microphone currently. Can you hear me now? No. Can you hear me?
Yes, good.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
But that's camera though.
Is it the camera?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what I hear.
Yeah, I think the computer.
Just in case.
Okay, let me see.
Recording Alex.
Yeah. Eating. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
whatever works.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. I'm very happy for the attendance. Thank you so much to Dr. Choi for being able to be here. Please enjoy and just don't forget to sign the sheet. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank
The
you.
floor is yours.
Thank you, Gazelle and GCPSA people for organizing this. Today, I want to talk about how to start coding in Python using ChatGPT. So I don't know if many of you are not really using Python, so I'm wondering if this is going to be useful or not, but still you can enjoy pizza. And you can use the same concept for R programming also, but it will be different platform. And I'm going to introduce you what kind of programming tool that you can use for the beginning of the Python programming. So the purpose of today is to empower you as a programmer for all of the levels, no matter what you're. So I'm gonna assume you don't know anything about Python today, and when we will start from the scratch, so you can follow up what I'm doing here. So I asked you to bring your own laptop because what we're going to do today is free. Everything is free. But if you want to use a little bit better functionality of ChatGPT, I think it's $20 per month. So you can do that. But GPT 3.5 is no problem at all. We're not going to use any more add-on anything today, but we will, maybe you'll be benefited a lot more if you actually use. Yes.
A question about the paying part. So is there any chance that UF will finally like allow people to use if you're an employee of the UF? And
I'm not sure about that. Can we ask Jack about it? I don't know. So, but I think it's possibility if you have research funding that is no limitation on whatever that you're using. Personally, I use some of my research fund to take some online courses. So it depends on how you justify the use of those funds. Like I justify those course registering to help ourselves to learn new technology and stuff, and that's fine, yeah. But it depends on your funding, I
And
think.
it's one lab that buys the license for like the whole lab for the GPT tool.
Really? Which lab is that? That'd be nice. Can I be that lab? Okay, anyway, so today I want you to go out of this room with some confidence that you can actually make Python programming. That's my goal today. Okay, we are going to cover a lot of things. It seems like a lot, but it's basically you're going to know some basic concept of Python, as well as some tips and some what not to do, what to do, and some of the tools that we're going to use to start Python programming. And we will be coding together. Don't worry if you don't know anything about Python. ChatGPT will do for you. That's what we are here for. So how many of you have used ChatGPT? Oh, all of them, all of you, all of you, all of them, all of you. So how often do you use it? Every day? Yeah, I use every day, all day. So now it's like essential part of our daily life and work. I cannot even imagine already what it was like before ChatGPT. Right? It changed our life so much. Like I don't want to think about doing my work without ChatGPT anymore. So it's very important for us to leverage this technology because everybody's using it. If you're not using it properly, probably you're falling behind of everyone else. So be up to date on what's going on in tech. It's gonna help your life. So today, because we're going to do Python programming, we need to have first, for ChatGPT, we need to have internet and ChatGPT account. I hope everybody has one. And for the Python programming, we're going to install Python and some of the programming tool, which is the editor. It's called IDE. We're going to install 2 of them. So we'll start. And for the Python programming editor tool, there are actually 2 very popular tools. One is Jupyter Notebook, one is PyCharm. Who's using Python here? What do you use for IDE? Oh, okay. And what do you use? Jupyter Notebook. Okay. So these are very popular tools. The Jupyter Notebook is really good because it's easy to use. And it's actually very simple. It works really well for basic data science or visualization. It works really well. But if you want to go a little bit further detail about using different programming and communicating different files and folders, PyCharm is actually the better option for that. But right now, for our purpose for today, Jupyter Notebook is good enough. So we're gonna use Jupyter Notebook. And we'll start how we can install it and how we can use it. So this is nothing related to ChatGPT so far. So this is how it looks. So one Jupyter Notebook is a web-based web browser. So you go to the Chrome or whatever browser you have, you can use that browser as an editor. And the right side is a PyCharm. That's another very popular tool, but this is standalone software. So you download it and install on your computer. So, but today we're going to use the left one. So please go to the python.org, and please download the latest version of Python in your laptop. Is everybody already installed? Oh, who needs more time? Please, yeah. Please take your time. I'm gonna eat some pizza while you're installing. So you need Python package to run the Python code. That's why we're doing this. It's free, but I think you should. I don't even think you need to make account, right? You can just download it. download and install it, please, and then add python.executable file to the path. It will take some time, but this one is fine. But later, we're going to install another package called Anaconda. That will take a lot of time. So if you finished Python, maybe you can download Anaconda. But that one, actually, when you install it, you need to think about a little bit more because we are installing multiple versions of Python. By doing that, you don't want to add path. So I'll talk about it later, but just in case you want to do it in advance.
Dana, I have a question.
Yes.
When I'm trying to download Python, it gives me a bunch of options. A bunch of files here, so when I click the download, this is what I'm getting. Ah, so can you go to download, go here? Yeah. 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 Yeah, and then you can type a comment and you. If people are looking, then you will.
Okay. Are you done? Almost. Okay. So far, so good, right? It's nothing too crazy. I don't think you need admin privilege actually at this point because even if you're using laboratory laptop, you can just install it for your own account, not necessary for entire computer. So I think, yeah, it's fine. Are you done?
Yes.
Okay, who needs more time? Don't be shy. Okay, so next up, we're going to install Jupyter Notebook. So how we're going to do is we're going to use command prompt. So if you're using Windows, the command prompt, just search for that and then click it. And you'll see this black screen. Now you feel like you're a real programmer. And here, we're going to actually download and install Jupyter Notebook by typing pip space install space notebook. Then you will start download and installing automatically. I already did it, so I'm not gonna do it, but you can do it. And then after you are done installing and downloading and installing, you can type Jupyter Notebook, then you will actually start Jupyter Notebook on one of your browsers.
Do you mind going to the first step for the?
Oh, sure. Okay. This is the here. PIP install notebook. After you're done, the next comment is just Jupyter Notebook, then you will start Jupyter Notebook. Then what you will see is this. And it will actually replicate all of your folder that you have in your computer. And then some of Python programming, if you already used Jupyter Notebook before. This sounds horrible, but that's so we're going to actually use the cause of death in United States. So I actually prepare for our today's tutorial, but don't get me wrong, I don't analyze that. Zoom people still following? Yes.
Yeah. Downloaded a bunch of stuff. And when do I know that it's ready?
It's ready.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Right, ready. Yeah, so now I can do the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
There we go. Yeah. Now you can, whatever is fine, edge is fine, from is fine. Yeah. Awesome.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome. The Zoom people following now or no?
Following, all good.
Okay, awesome.
Hi, I have one question. So,
Yes.
I just got a little bit lost. So from the search bar, I have to put like command prompt,
Yes.
and then how
Comments?
can I go back? I mean, after the C/users/
When you so the application name is command prompt.
Mhm.
When you click it, you will see this black screen.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
Then after that, you put this pip install notebook.
Yeah, that I can put actually. I can't write on the black screen.
Cannot write?
No.
Huh. That one is super strange. Maybe keyboard issue?
I don't know, I can go back on this I mean, yeah, for this sentence, the C/users/ that sentence. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you can go ahead. No worries.
Okay, sorry. You can stop by my office later. Okay, so now we're ready to go to the next step. The Jupyter Notebook looks like this. Basically replicating your computer on a web browser. And then how you can actually start Python coding is click New and click Python 3. So Jupyter Notebook is really simple and easy to use like this, but it's slow, unfortunately, because this is not really, we're not really using Python at this point because we're using web browser. Technically, it's a JSON file. So it's a little slower than actual Python. So if you want full capability of Python, you need to use Python or standalone software. But for now, this is more than enough for us. So I'll show you what we can do with Jupyter Notebook today. I'm sure many of us we're fine with this. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to just show you. So here this is the editor. We're going to put Python code here. Code by ourselves. We'll ask ChatGPT to code for us, and then we'll put it here and then run the code. And we will encounter some errors because ChatGPT is not perfect yet. So we'll also use ChatGPT to figure out what errors we have. Okay, the next one. Very slow. Okay, so I actually want to ask, I think maybe because you already use R or Python or whatever programming, or maybe MATLAB, you already know like variable in programming, right? Not confident. I don't see many confident face here. I'm sure you know. So for the variable, for the programming, we have integer, float, or if you're using C++, maybe double or stuff like that, we use it. So some of the integer we make variable to save some number, different types of number like integer or numeric decimal point. And we can create some data types to save some strings or Boolean operation, true or false, or we can also make structure type like a list or dictionary for Python. So because it's a lot to understand, we're going to ask ChatGPT for us to create code, Python code, and explain us some simple variable assignment and demonstrate the use of different data type. We're going to start using ChatGPT now. So let's go to ChatGPT. Start ChatGPT. Can you? And then I'm going to just copy and paste exactly same as what I have. Generate Python code. So you always start with generate Python code. And to explain simple variable assignment and demonstrate the use of different data types. And you'll be surprised how well ChatGPT does. So I don't like this one, they're always. I'm gonna just press enter. And it will start generating the code for you. Okay, so now I have a short code. I'm gonna copy this code and then let's see what it does. So let's go to Jupyter. Oh, my mouse doesn't work today. The data type. I'm going to rename this file and I'm going to copy and paste the Python code here. Actually, you can separate this code to different sections by click another block like this. You can do that. But I'm gonna just, oops. This is good for dividing the block in case, because Jupyter Notebook, how it works is it runs block by block. So it's like a stop button in MATLAB. You can stop somewhere, like, and see what's the intermediate result. You can do that by dividing the block. And you can run this code, like click run. If you have only selection, if you want to run only selection of the code, you can run the selection. Or if you want to run the entire code or block, you can select whatever option you like. Or just click this play button, run code, run button. And it just runs. And then the bottom of this code shows the result of what I have here. So for example, here I have the integer definition, define integer, number of apples is equal to 5. And here the first line is the command to actually print out in the command window or with output window how many number of apples that I have that I save inside of this integer and then print it. And this is the output that I have. Number of apples is 5. So basically that's what it is. So here I have the Python code and output, and then I ask ChatGPT to explain what it does for individual lines of the code. So here I have number of apples equals 5. This is for the integer. Then you can read whatever the variable types that you have. This explanation is too little? What do you think? Any questions? Basically, it's very easy, right? You don't need to type or code from the scratch, but actually also, I'm gonna change a little bit because I work in agriculture. I'm gonna ask. And this is actually kind of agricultural data, huh? Already. Let's assume I'm a weed scientist. I'm a weed scientist, like Nathan. Create data related to them. And they will create something similar to whatever data type you work in with science. You see, it's incredible. It does anything that you ask for. Yeah. Wow, this is really awesome. Okay. Any question? Yeah. Well, we have already 30 minutes. Wow. We're gonna run out of time today. Warning. Okay. So it shows you, this is just for you run the code and then you will see the output in this, or if you ask to create some type of display, it will show in this number 2 part also. And this is the explanation from ChatGPT. Okay, so now the next one is we're going to ask Python to do the same for the variable, but this time we'll ask about control structure and types of control structure. So like if, while, for loop, while loop, something like that. So the next one is the same. Ask ChatGPT to generate example of using if statement to make decisions and loops to handle repetition in tasks. I'm gonna just copy and paste. What's your research area?
With science.
Oh, okay. Who is not with scientist here? Plant pathology. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, I'm gonna ask. Now this time I'm gonna be plant pathologist. Oh, wow. I don't know. Is it something that you would work on? Can you confirm? Oh, wow. Okay, so here it is giving you code for the if statement and then loops, for loop, but it gives you only for loops, huh? There's no while loops. But you can ask another question to ask while loop as well. But depends, if you are lucky, ChatGPT will understand as one-time chance. But if you're not lucky, you need to keep asking the same question multiple times until you get the right thing. So you can try that.
So, does it freeze on you when I enter that statement and press enter, nothing is happening? Does it freeze on you, the message box or message box? So after I message ChatGPT with that statement and I press enter, it's doing nothing. Really? Yeah.
Sometimes it does.
Yeah. Oh, it's because it's loading the email. Yeah. Yeah. Copy is like very nice. Yeah. So if that happens, you just need to leave it alone or
Wait, like, I think if you copy paste as, like, you click the right button and then explain text, and then you're gonna copy and paste just the text, not the image.
You can just close it.
Yeah, there is an X button on the left side.
Because you're copying from here and then it is copying.
And also because I'm using paid version, it's much faster. Yeah. For free version, sometimes you don't have, I don't know, it's still like that. You don't even have, sometimes you don't have access to it when server is too busy.
Yeah, depends.
Yeah.
Depends on your Western.
Right. Yeah. Okay, then if you wanna read this explanation, what it does, you can. So it gives you what it does for each for loop, while loop, if statement, stuff like that. And now we want to do a little bit more advanced. I don't like this one. I want you to come up with some type of very challenging situation that you want to program in Python. Can you give me some options so I can do it? One, this is some scenario that you can think of. One, real world problem. Think of daily tasks you perform that might be automated or simplified with a Python script. Two, basic algorithm challenges, suggest a simple algorithm challenge like finding the maximum number in a list or sorting a list of names alphabetically. Data handling tasks provide a scenario involving data, such as summarizing sales data, stuff like that. Mathematical problem, propose a basic mathematical problem. Text processing, come up with some text processing tasks, such as counting the number of words in a paragraph that we can ask for ChatGPT. It doesn't matter. Can you come up with something? Can you tell me?
Compare two columns of data and have it pull whatever the highest value of either column is.
Yeah, but so actually, then I need to have that data. Yeah, to compare. But actually, I actually prepare one example to calculate the data in an Excel CSV file. So we're gonna cover that later.
Keep finding the next prime number.
Huh?
Keep finding the next prime number.
Yeah, we can do that. But but I want the more challenging problem. This is one of the examples that I gave you. So make the Python code. I want to access GCRC web page and give the address here. This is a news page. And then make the list, the top 10 most frequent used word along with their frequency. That's very complicated. Can you make Python code for this? Maybe it will take a day or two if you want to do this. So I'm gonna duplicate this. Can you try in your computer also to see if you can make Python code for doing access Gulf Coast Research and Education Center web page for the news? And then count the number of words and the least top 10 most frequently used words. Can you do that? I'll wait for you. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I did that on purpose. I use this for my class also. I know you're gonna do copy and paste. Everybody does. It's okay. See you. So this.
So that means that we need to type in, right?
Yes, but you don't need to use the exact same. You can do similar. You can change. I encourage you to make variation of this. I'm not gonna check if you did it right or not, so feel free to use your own creativity. Let's go to GCRC webpage. What question can we actually ask? What's the maybe plant clinic? Oh, there are not many texts here. Programs. Breeding and genetics. Let's go here. I'm gonna count. along with their frequency. What's frequency?
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I got a code from ChatGPT and then I plugged it into Jupyter.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm getting a file not found error.
Yeah, so because you don't have the library.
I know.
So when you copy this and actually.
So I'm doing this now. And
Oh,
then this is what I have.
And then add to GPT.
The same text. Find this error.
Yeah, isn't it there?
Yeah, but it's also.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Of the set.
Right, that's right.
File path or something.
So here, when you see the result. Oh, I don't have a result yet, huh? Let me see. It is connected. So when I did it, it's actually GCRC, UF, and all stuff. Yeah, you can actually make more detailed comment that except GCRC or UF, and it will generate the code for that. So whenever you make this comment, more if you can even explain about data type or some background about this web page, that it actually helps, and more detail, better. Yeah. So here, I'm going to show you one thing. So this is the code that the ChatGPT generated for me. You see here this import stuff. So what it is actually called a library. Have you heard of library? R has a library also, right? So library is actually a bunch of code. They collect a bunch of code and make up maybe functions or different object and then combine in the same folder. Basically, it's called library. So you don't need to code everything every time when you do it. So basically, you're borrowing some function from a library so you can use it in your own code. That's a library. So what it does in this red box is we're calling this library so that we can use whatever functionality that we have inside of this library. So here this code has multiple library, request, beautiful soup, counter, RE, I don't know. So each library has its own function. So we don't need to remember anything anymore because ChatGPT will give you what library you're using that you need to use for this particular code. But one thing that I want to, here I have results here. Can you see? It's very small.
I have a question. So
Yeah.
now it's perfect. The ChatGPT can generate code for you, but how do you know it's reliable?
What do you mean by reliable?
I mean, so.
It's correct.
It's correct. Yeah, maybe that's the most straightforward to say. Okay, so let me put an example. It's not exactly. So somebody generate a text, a summary text of some knowledge or questions, and they generate a fake reference. And that type of question, and I mean, it seems pretty
Right.
accurate, but how,
No, I wouldn't say it's accurate. So for example, I don't know about copyright or actually true or actually fake. I cannot really say that. I would say you have to be very careful about that one. But about the Python coding, you will find a lot of time it will give you errors. It's not even like compile, you cannot run like what Priyanka experienced. And you need to debug. So debugging, ChatGPT can do debug also. So do you know what debug is? Debugging? So when you have an error in programming, you call it bug, right? We have a bug in our code. But when you fix that error, that's called debugging. We're removing the bug. So that's debugging. So we can use ChatGPT to debug for the code for us. So many of the time you will find this error. It will not run. So and then just copy that message or even like whole code and then ask ChatGPT, I had this error, find the issue and fix the code. Then it will fix it for you. Just do it until you have the running code. That's the only way at this point. Yes?
So comparing ChatGPT and R, sorry, the R and Python,
Mhm.
ChatGPT is easy to manage for Python or generating the.
I'm not sure what's better, but because I don't use R, so I cannot really say because I've never really used it. Yeah.
But like, wait for business mistake. Like, no, R, you don't have how to create a code. ChatGPT is gonna give you a code that you can use, like you can write, I want a code for R for this and this and this. And then usually he's gonna give you a code. And what you can do is test this code, and then if you see it's not going, you can say to ChatGPT, so can you give me another option? This is not functional because he's like, he is afraid that he learns what you said for him, like he's not working.
But if I have to spend the time taking two directions, which one should I choose to write a code to solve a problem?
Um,
R or to ChatGPT?
I actually don't know the question.
Yeah. If you don't have
Yeah.
any idea what is the code, then maybe ChatGPT, but if you have a code and just have an error, maybe just try on R, and then if you have an error, try to. solve
So,
it. Maybe
It
ChatGPT.
served the different purposes. As far as I understood, R is more for like statistical method. Python, you can do many other things. Statistical method also, but also you can use for just making some Word document or PDF file. R probably, I'm not sure. Maybe it's not easy to do that job using R. Like Python can be, I typically don't use R because we're dealing with lots of image data. Yeah, like there are many different applications. R is not very easy to use. Yeah.
I would say it's important to understand the code once it gives you, when it's given to you back.
Right.
When you understand and try to learn the code, you will see the bugs, you will be able to fix them by yourself
Right.
if you know general formulas, and then you can try it. Then you can be sure, like, about how credible it will
Right.
be.
Yeah, that's correct. So if you have zero information about what code should look like, it's very difficult to find errors. But if you have some understanding of code, if you read it, maybe syntax is not the issue, but you have to be able to understand what part is doing what job. So in that way, you can actually follow the code that you generated, basically. But anyway, I'm going to the next. I don't know if I can actually finish this today. We'll see. So this is a library, but why I'm talking about this is because Python. So each library. So these are some of the example of library. So this is some of the example library that very popular library in Python, for data science, visualization, or AI, machine learning. You can actually just use this library. Yeah. You can just use this library. They have a bunch of models and functions, but you need to be very careful because certain library requires certain version of Python. The means we just installed latest version, which is 3.12, and some of this library is not going to be supported by this. So you need to see each library, what version is supported, which is a great headache. What if the pandas require 3.11 and this requires 3.6? You have no idea. You cannot use newest version if that requires older version. You need to use the older version. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're in the iTogether, For sure it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Different versions. It's not gonna allow you to install anything.
Yeah. So what can we do about it? Is we're going to use, so this is called dependency problem. So you require certain version for the Python for to use certain library, but we don't wanna, this is too much to deal with. So there are some solution, it's called Anaconda. So that one is actually same as a Python, but pre-compiled Python with certain version with certain library together. This is a much heavier Python distribution that is already combined together with certain library with this appropriate version that we can choose. And then we can actually create virtual environment for certain library version or Python version. We activate it. It's crazy, right? Anyway, we're going to use this now. And I'll show you how to use it. So follow me if you please, if you can. So go to Anaconda website here and then download and install. So this is one of the way we can actually manage this dependency problem with the version control and stuff. Not really the version control, but we'll talk about it later. This Anaconda is this one of the solutions that I'm giving you. This is I use this because it's good for data science. I don't know about other application, but this is many people use it for machine learning or different data science or visualization, stuff like that. Yeah. So this is one example that I'm going to show you. You can, if you're working in different area, please look for similar distribution for the Python. And yeah, I think it depends. So the Anaconda has a bunch of distribution and Python library for data science. So I think we're all kind of data scientists here. So it should work for all of us.
I wonder why they all have names of snakes.
Python.
Anaconda.
Right. What's wrong with these people?
Why?
Maybe we should make something something with strawberry or tomato.
I think that I found it's possible to install in the web computers.
Hmm?
Besides, I was able to install in my computer
Mm.
from web. So
Yeah, so actually here I make this red box. You see, do not check that because we already installed some other version of Python. Actually, in theory, we don't need to install Python if we're installing an Anaconda because this includes Python package inside. But we already did. And it's actually good because we need latest version. And just do not check it as environment variable because we will confuse Python compiler. But we're gonna actually define before the programming what version Python we're using through Anaconda. So that's what we're going to do. And just if you're using a laptop, install for just you. You don't need to install for all users. It will take some time. So I think if you're finishing, we're out of time. What can we do? I'm going to just show you what we can do here.
And we can try.
Yeah. Yes, please. So what I'm gonna do is a machine learning application using Anaconda. So it already has pre-built library inside of this. And this is the data that I want to use to create some type of machine learning application. I download this data set from here. Let's see. Data.gov. I just looked few of it and then just downloaded some of the good looking data. Not all of the data is good looking. It has like 5 data points. Some file has very few data inside of the data set. But anyway, when you download, you can download by clicking here, and then it will show you. That looks like this. So each year has months, and then it gives you the number of deaths by the different reason, like chronic and other disease and whatever, like so many reasons, and drug overdose and stuff. It's actual historical data. And if you don't like this data set, you can download different data set. There are so many different types. Federal government, from federal government, you can use it. So what I want to do is I want to actually predict number 1 or number 1 to 5 reason of death of 2025 and 2030. Actually, I tried this, but it's because too soon, it doesn't really change much. So I changed it to 2050 and 2100. And then I want to see what is the number 5, big 5 reason of doing that. Okay. Oh, not here. Okay. This is very difficult. Zoom is very difficult. So I already created here. That's the analysis. I asked ChatGPT to create the exactly same what I have here. I'm going to show you what I did. Oh, I need to show you how to start on Kunda actually. But anyway, this is what I add. Generate Anaconda comment. Oh no, this is not the here. I uploaded the CVS file first, and then explain generate Python code for displaying color-coded graphs for cause of death and predict number of cause for death by 2025. Stuff. And then I put the code in the Anaconda, Jupyter notebook, and it gave a bunch of errors what Trianka had. There's no library because I don't have the library. So what I wanted to do was using Anaconda and create a Python version as well as library. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So after who actually is done installing? Awesome. So we can actually do together. So then after you're done, there's another prompt, Anaconda prompt. Please click it. Then you see another black screen. I don't know how many Zoom people are still there. Zoom is gone. Oh, no. I thought Zoom is gone. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh, I freaked out. Oh, sorry. Okay. And then this is you see here. This is what you need to do. So I'm going to explain what it does. So Conda here is just starting the comment. When you start comment, you need to put Conda and then create Conda. We're going to create virtual environment. You can change this anything. I just put every environment. You can change it as a name, as an agri environment. I'm going to use Python version 3.8. I actually don't know what version I should use for all of this library. So I asked ChatGPT to create Anaconda common for all of this library that we are going to use for creating the virtual environment. And then don't forget, so these are the library that I am using inside of my code. So you need to leave everything here, everything. And then don't forget Jupyter, because we're going to use Jupyter Notebook for the library, for the editor. So we're adding all of this and then create virtual environment using Python version 3.8. Are you following? Okay, so then we will have then it will say, yes, I created this. And then it will show you done. And then if you want to activate this virtual environment, you need to put this comment, conda activate agree environment, which is the name that I gave. So you need to change to whatever name you have. And I put this activate agree environment. And then from this prompt, you need to start Jupyter Notebook again. So you can actually use this environment. So activate the create environment and then launch Jupyter Notebook. Let me see. Any questions so far? No? So sorry, I totally didn't time it right. So we're really running out of time. So this is what they gave. So you see, it's very, we already know this is a huge problem. And then I want to see what is the top. At the end of this code, it shows you what top 5 causes of death predicted for 2070. Heart disease, accident, Alzheimer, drug overdose. That's the top 5 reason for death by 2070. Yeah, okay. So that is pretty much how, so maybe the later part is very difficult to follow because I'm skipping so many things. But if you have any question about using Anaconda or different Jupyter Notebook, just let me know. I'll send me an email. So that was actually the last tutorial that I created. So for some tips for ChatGPT, how to use it is be very specific what you want to do for that code and be very clear and give more context as much as you can. Then it's very helpful. Yeah. And understand ChatGPT is not correct all the time. And it will give you some errors and you will not run. Some of the code will not run, but you just need to copy the code and the error message that you have and ask ChatGPT to figure out what is the issue and then give you the new code. And even like if you have a problem with command window or Anaconda prompt, you can even ask, create comment or Anaconda prompt comment to do this job and it will do it for you. It knows. And some how I create this Anaconda prompt also is you just copy all of the code that you have and ask ChatGPT, how can I create Anaconda prompt to create the virtual environment for this code? Then it will actually just identify all of it for you. Any question? Really? Zoom people? Okay, I don't see none. Great.
Well, in that case, thank you.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Choi.
I don't know, I cannot.
Yeah.
There we go.
GCPSA want to give you this certificate. Thank you so much for your participation. Here.
Thank you. Okay, should I stop?
Yeah, I need to go to my office and stuff.
Okay.
Thank you all so much for coming. I'm really excited now.